What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and today I'm going over a new deck that I have not featured on the channel yet, and that is Red Eyes. I was watching Season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Last night with Kevin, and I'm like, golly gee willikers, that is a cool looking card. And of course there's going to be deck center around it. The one thing I was worried about when I was making this deck was like the whole Blue Eyes conundrum, where it's really just a Dragon Link deck with Blue Eyes cards as an engine. But here, it differentiates itself. It's a rank 7 engine that, obviously normal Dragon Link would never have access to. But it's also flexible in that it can go for the traditional routes of Dragon Link. So I like the combination. I think the deck stands out. And I'll show you 3 combos here. And the first one I found online. I'm just going to show it to you like a little bit slower than I think than he did, but of course he's the originator of this, so go ahead and go to that video, click it in the description, leave a like and say thank you, or say like your video is awesome, whatever it may be. But I'll just show it here on the channel and then we can go from there. And the first 3 are always it's going to be the same combo but different variations of it. 2 of them I find interesting for myself, but it's all centered around Dragon Shrine and Draco Net here. Dragon Shrine is just a really good card in Red Eyes, honestly, in the deck, because you want to fill your graveyard with Red Eyes Black Dragons because they end up coming in later, like way later down the combo. You're like planting the seeds. But from the deck, you're going to go ahead and send the Dark Worm after that. And since you control no monsters, you can go ahead and special summon the Dark Worm from the graveyard. Now you can normal summon the Draco Net. Draco Net lets you special summon a level 2 or lower normal monster from your hand or deck, which is nice because that means these aren't like absolute garnets and kill you. Crystalline Needle Fiber is the same. Here I'm using Guard Dragon, Justia, whatever, who cares? It can be any of them, right? But then you can go ahead and special summon the Crystalline Fibrax, which is going to special summon another tuner. I know the Destruction Sword just came off the ban list, and I know there's combos with that, so that's probably where you do this. But for this example, just to be more general, and this is more for the Red Eyes part of it, I just special summon another Guard Dragon Justia. Now, since you have these zones, you can go ahead and convert both of these into a Pisty and LP, which is very convenient because now they point to the zones to each other. They can start using the effects. And from the deck, you're going to go ahead and special summon the Black Metal Dragon, which is by far the best card in the deck. It searches your entire archetype, which means extenders and trap cards and all that good stuff. You can link off the LP that you just used and the Black Metal Dragon and go into a Romulus. You can chain these to block each other. The Ravine, I think, is a little more important, so it's a lot easier in this deck to revive Black Metal Dragon because it's just not a once per turn at all. So that's why I would do it that way. But now you can grab a Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon and a Dragon Ravine. You can banish the Romulus, special summon the Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and revive back none other than the Black Metal Dragon. You will use this a few more times, as you might imagine. The Fibrax and the Black Metal Dragon are going to convert into a Triple Burst Dragon. Black Metal effect activates, and now you can grab your hand a Malefic Red Eyes Black Dragon. The only thing this card is obviously an extender. It's a free special summon as long as you banish a Red Eyes, what actually comes up later too for another Link monster part of your combo. But you just have to make sure there's a field spell because it's a Malefic card, and that's kind of like the whole thing. Luckily, it's not so specific. It can be any field spell. Otherwise, this would not be an extender at all. Pisty, since the Triple Burst is now on the field, can special summon Black Metal Dragon. But you're not going to convert that just yet. But now you can activate the Dragon Ravine and send an Absolute Router. That this Called by the Grave is just an extender, or you're going to send a Tempest, excuse me. Tempest lets it special summon itself from the graveyard. It's a free rank 7. Now the Triple Burst and the LP can convert into a Darkness Metal. Lets you special summon a banished dragon from the banish pile. And now you can go ahead and use that effect after special summoning the Malefic, which banished the Red Eyes that you're now special summoning. And this Black Metal Dragon can equip itself, so you can equip it to either one of these two, because you're going to go into your first rank 7 play, because when it's XYZ summon, it'll go to the graveyard, and that way you can get a search. And you can actually chain block here too, because the Red Eyes Flair, for whatever reason, special summoning the Red Eyes from the graveyard is a quick effect, which is nice. So you can special summon one of the Red Eyes Black Dragons that you sent at the very beginning of this combo. And off the search from the metal, you can get the Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon to free special summon, as long as it tributes a Red Eyes monster, and this is technically one of those. And there you go, there's another rank 7. And the Tempest, like I said, it just has to banish 2 dragon monsters from the graveyard to special summon itself. Red Eyes Flair is not a once per turn either. And there you go. You can convert the last one into this. So every time your opponent activates a card or effect, they take 1,500 damage. So they have like 6 effects to activate to beat you. I mean, that's pretty much a ticking time bomb. Now, there is a lot of outs to this, but like Lightning Storm is not one of them. It can't be destroyed by card effects. So they're going to have to like find a way to get over it and under a certain amount of effects. So it's really cool. I really like this combo. Again, that guy's combo is really sick. So hopefully that the way I explained it was a little slower. Maybe you guys can get it. But we'll go over like 2 alternatives, and I'll like really just speed through these. I won't go step by step. But there's another rank 7 card that I think was only a prize card. So in a way, this is my cry to Konami to actually print this card and make it accessible. It's like $200 or something. But there is a rank 7 that lets you banish a chosen card from your opponent's extra deck. Now, I don't think that's necessarily good for this format. Because combo just isn't a thing, but there are going to be combo heavy formats at some point again. I mean, that's just kind of the natural swing of things. And when you have combo heavy formats, then you have pretty tight extra deck space for combos because you have a lot of cards that you need to go through. So if you can go through like 2 Darkness Metals and then you can banish one of their like really important cards, like let's say they're playing a 1 of Christian Needlefiber and you can banish that, then you could really hinder their plays and they still take 1,000 damage here. Using an effect, so they have an 8-turn clock after that. I think it's interesting at least, and here it is. I think I banished like his, for an example, Christian Needlefiber, and it also banishes the top card of their deck, which you never know could be important. Like not every deck, like there's some decks that can't play Pot of Desires and all that kind of stuff, and they can't banish cards, and maybe you get lucky. Who knows? You can also, if you're really playing in a combo heavy format, you can do the same exact combo, but use 2 of that number 7. That isn't a once per turn either. So if they have 2 important combo pieces that kind of enable everything they do, then you can use it twice. Now, I know you don't have any gates after that, but I still think it's an interesting theory, and I think it's something that you can keep in the side deck, and there's like no real pressure on you. So we should go through here again. And, yeah, again, like I said, I think this combo can be used like pretty often, or just like kind of have it off to the side. But first, we need the card to be printed outside of a prize pool of winning a tournament. But I do think it's legal. I know a lot of the prize cards end up getting banned, but I think this one is not. There we go. His Needlefiber. Banish the top card. Use it a second time. This time a Predaplant Verde Anaconda, something like that. Just for an example. Let's see where we go here. This is probably like a traditional Guard Dragon combo. You can go ahead and normal summon the Starly Seifert, send itself to the graveyard to search a Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, which will, of course, special summon itself immediately after. Or first, you can use the Guard Dragon, the World Legacy Guard Dragon, which is like a Monster Reborn a little bit. You can convert that Starly Seifert into a Striker Dragon, which will search the field spell. And now you can special summon the Collapse Serpent by banishing the Starliege. Convert those 2 into Heavenly Seal. Very nice, right? A lot of the times this will be like not Hermetic Seal. Maybe you go into the Romul or something like that, which is not a disruption, but this is. All because you do have that World Legacy Guard Dragon. The Collapse Serpent, when it's sent to the graveyard, helps search the Wyvern Buster, which you can now special summon by banishing it. They all kind of work in tandem, right? And you can change this the Wyvern Buster into an LP, and since you have the field that lets you kind of scoot it over, that way it's in that zone it points to, use the effect to special summon a dragon from the deck. And this, again, this is more traditional, so you're going to go for the Brotar, which is just a searcher, and you can get the Chaos Legionnaire by discarding a card, and then obviously Legionnaire is going to end up looping a card from your opponent's hand, a random card. But this is actually really interesting. So the Brotar can get converted into a Pisty, and this looks really awkward. Like it doesn't point to anything, but it's just any 2 Link monsters pointing to it. So you actually still can't use the effect, even though it's not pointing to anything itself. And from that banish zone, you can get the Safer back, and you can convert the Pisty and the Elpie into the Romulus, which will get you the Search for Ravine. You can banish 3 of those and special summon the Levianeer. Like I said, since they're all dark, one card in your opponent's hand is going to go bye-bye. And you can convert the Romulus, the Seyfert, and the Levianeer for an Appaloosa, which is 3 negates. Activate Dragon Ravine, send an Apsa Router. Because, I mean, you can ignore this Tracer in my hand. Let's just say I didn't have it. Then you can actually search a copy of it. Then you can convert the Ravine and change it out for a Boot Sector Launch, which will let you special summon the Tracer from your hand. Tracer can pop the Field Spell. I'm sure you've seen this a million times. Or it can even pop the Guard Dragon, the World Legacy Guard Dragon card. And special summon from the deck the Rocket Recharger. That means you have a rank 8 Synchro, which can equip the Romulus from the graveyard. And there you go. So 3 negates Appaloosa, the Heraldic Seal, which I have a Morphage in my deck, so they can't get special from the extra deck. Even though, again, I think it's fine to use it this way. It's like the same thing as Destruction Sword, but it's actually a monster with attack, and then an Omni Negate, which is nice. A good little end board there. And this is a 1 card. I'll finish it off with this. This is the 1 card triple red Flair. I will take this one step by step. It's a little different from the ones I just showed you. You can normal summon the black metal, go into a striker. You can chain block here if you really want to, but assuming you don't get any hand traps on you, the black metal is going to search the Red Eyes Darkness Metal, and then you have the Boot Sector Launch. Now you can banish the striker, special summon the Red Eyes, and then bring back the dark metal. Convert those 2 into a Romulus. Like I said, most of the time you would do this anyways, right? And you can chain block again, but you can search a regular Red Eyes Black Dragon. I think it's just discard fodder, and it's good to have it in the graveyard. And you can activate the Ravine to discard the card that you search. Again, like I said, the Red Eyes Flare, you got to make sure you have one of those in the graveyard. Apsa Router can search the Rocket Tracer. Rocket Tracer will activate, and you can special summon the Tracer from your hand. Tracer can pop the Field Spell, and from the deck you can get the Rocket Recharger. Kind of similar, but you're not going to go into the Borreload Savage. You're going to convert the Recharger into a Pisty, and then the Tracer into an LP, and now your zones are all neatly lined up again. LP can bring back the metal just to keep grabbing extenders. You can convert that into a Striker Dragon for now, and you can search out the Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. Fortunately, you can't go into Malefic Right because I don't have a Field Spell in my hand. And you can destroy with Striker the LP and add to your hand a Rocket Recharger, which activates Recharger's effect to discard itself. To special summon 1 monster of the same type from your graveyard. It's a really weird effect. So it discarded itself, targeted the LP that was destroyed, and then since it was a Dark Dragon, Absolute is a Dark Dragon. It's also rank 7, which is just kind of insane and weird, but it works out for the best. LP from the deck can summon the Tempest, which is really cool. And you can go into your first Red Eyes Metal Flare, and you can go back and special summon what you sent earlier, the Red Eyes Black Dragon. Tempest, since you special summon from the deck, hasn't special summoned itself from the graveyard. And now you can also special summon out this Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon. There you go. There's your second Flare. Flare can special summon the Red Eyes, and then you can convert the Romulus and the LP and go into a triple burst, which will then immediately get converted into the Darkness Metal. And just because the reason I had to do that weirdness is because the material for this Link monster is 2+ effect monsters with the same type and attribute. Same type and not same attribute. I can special summon the Tempest back from the graveyard. It's like banished or in the graveyard. And I have another rank 7 here right on the field. So 1 card also, every time your opponent activates a card, 1500 damage. And they're on that really short clock, right? But those were 5 combos that I think are interesting. I'll probably do some gameplay videos to see how it ends up going. You guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And that's going to do it for today's video. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful night.